welcome to Manifesting Your Soulmate. My name is Kiara Jade and I am the founder of Kiara Jade Relationship Success. And today, I'm here to talk to you about manifesting. It's always the topic of the hour at the start of the year and something we all wish we knew how to do, I think, better. I have had some success in manifesting. Usually on my vision boards every year, I get at least 2 or 3 of what I've put up. So I'm hoping that I can give you some really great tips and you guys can find your soulmates this year. So when we first start manifesting, what we need to do is be really clear on what we want. So if you're looking for a life partner, that's going to be different if you're looking for, say, just someone maybe to be a friends with benefits or maybe just someone to have fun with. So first things first, you need to get clear on what it is you're actually searching for. So what do you want out of 2020? Do you want that life partner? Do you want that person who's going to be there long term? And then the next thing we need to get really clear on is, what does an amazing relationship look like to you? And sometimes we learn this by going through our past relationships and learning what didn't work for us and then kind of contrasting that with what we think would work for us. And sometimes we just know we want someone who's, say, a really kind partner or someone who's really going to love us for who we truly are. So be really clear on what it is you want and what it is you're looking for. And then I guess the next part of that is setting an intention to the universe and actually stating it in the form of, say, a sentence, and putting it out there so that the universe knows that's what you're wanting, and just setting your, I guess, energetic imprint on the universe. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. So it might be, I set the intent that in 2021, I'm going to find an amazing life partner. It can be as simple as that. And once you can either think it or you can say it out loud, and you can repeat this to yourself. Sometimes people have had really great success saying it every day for a month. Or sometimes just putting it out there the one time, or even putting it on a vision board where you're constantly seeing that and having it reinforced is really helpful for people. So we want to make sure with our intents, we're always framing in the positive and we're always putting it in a future tense. So we want best case scenario thinking here. We want a life partner. We want an amazing person who's going to love me for me. And we want to make sure we're putting it in the future. So we don't want to say, I want something, because just saying I want something kind of implies lack. I've actually had this said to me in a reading before. They're like, what do you want? And I was like, I want a boyfriend. And they're like, no, you have a boyfriend. So we want to make sure that we're phrasing any affirmations we do or any intents we do as, I have an amazing life partner in 2021. I'm getting mixed up with my dates here. And making sure that we're framing this in the positive, and that we can also use I am. So I am in an incredible relationship. I am in the relationship of my dreams. I am is a really powerful statement because it almost links it in with our personality and who we are. And if we're linking it in with who we are as a person, it's going to be way more powerful. And that's why power of our thoughts is really important, whether we're thinking positively or whether we're thinking negatively for manifestation. So making sure that we are framing things in the positive, that we're using I am statements and I have statements like it's already past, is a great way to start. I want to give you guys a bit of an exercise. So if you've got a pen and paper out, if you don't, that's fine. You could probably imagine it, but I think it'd be better to write it down. I want you to just draw out and look at my amazing drawing skills. Obviously, I'm better with relationships than I am with drawing. I want you to draw out a paper man or female. It can be a woman as well. We have no judgments here. But essentially a paper man or a paper woman or a paper boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever you're looking for in 2021. So just draw them out, and then I want you to write around the edges exactly what you're looking for in a partner, right? So it's just kind of like a brainstorming exercise, essentially. Putting it down on paper, exactly what you want, another form of setting your intent, having it in a visual format and setting it out into the universe. And so I've got family orientated, long-term life partner, loves me unconditionally, just things like that. And you can continue adding to this list as time goes on. You could put in some now and then maybe put in some at the end of the live. And then what you can do with this is you can either put it up on your vision board and have it sitting there next to your affirmation for this year or your intent for this year for your relationships. And then that's going to remind you that this is what we're looking for. This is what we're trying to manifest, someone who has these qualities. You can also put in things like addiction free or free from anything that you've potentially experienced in the past. But like I said, we want to make sure it's in the positive. And then the second thing that's really important when it comes to manifestation is a lot of the times when we try to manifest something, we've set our intent, we've put out our intentions, and then we want to control the outcome. So I'm someone who is very much at fault of this. I'm like, okay, I said it last year. Why isn't it manifesting yet? Come on, hurry up. And I'm a bit impatient sometimes, I think, with these things. And sometimes we try to control the outcome by kind of doing our own actions in the middle, or trying to rush things, or trying to jump in and get it done straight away. So when you are looking for a partner, it can be really easy to just go and say, jump on a dating app, right? And I knew in my gut instinct, when I kind of sat quietly in meditative state and kind of took a deep breath and asked myself, am I going to find my partner on a dating app? I just knew the answer was no. And even though I knew that, I kind of just pushed through and did it anyway. I was like, nah, I'm sick of waiting. I'm just going to go have some fun on these dating apps. And so I did, and I met a few people, and I got my hopes up, and I thought it was going to go really well. And then it just kind of fizzled out. It didn't really end up being anything anyway. But I guess that was my way of trying to control the outcome and trying to, I guess, put my own will into making it happen straight away. And sometimes when it comes to manifestation, we can put the best intentions out there, but in terms of things like timing and in terms of things like how it'll happen, that's in control of the universe. That's not up to us to decide. So I could say, yeah, I can find a boyfriend on a dating app. Yeah. And I'm sure I could if I really, really tried. And I could have gotten to that point where I found someone and dated them, but maybe they wouldn't be my paper man because I'd kind of rushed into it, or I'd tried to like make it happen now. So we need to be keeping in mind that sometimes divine timing does kind of come into play, and there might be other things we need to learn or look into before we get to that point. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as we've set our intention, even if it doesn't happen in the time frame that we're looking for, it's still out there and it's still in the vortex. And we want to make sure that we're going with the flow and allowing the universe to bring whatever it is to us, as this is going to be the way that our paper man manifests, right? So I met someone and I just had a really, really great gut feeling about them. And I was like, this is the one I've been asking for, you know, it just feels right. And then when that ended, I was like, oh, universe, like, what are we doing? Like I asked for this amazing guy. You brought me someone. They felt so right. And I felt so in flow the whole time it happened. Why did it end? And I could not fathom this. There was no way I could see into the future and know what was going on behind the scenes. But what was actually going on behind the scenes was I had to meet that person in order to meet the actual person who became my partner and my long-term soulmate. And without the first person, who I thought was the right person, it never would have happened that I wouldn't have met him. I wouldn't have met my actual partner. And sometimes that's the way the universe works. It'll just throw us this curveball and we'll think, but I thought that's how it was going to happen. I thought it was just going to kind of fall into my lap and then I would just know. But the universe has another plan, and they're actually throwing into something else into our lap that's even better than what we originally thought. So keep that in mind as well. And then finally, the final point, when we're manifesting, we want to make it so real and believable as much as possible. So we want to make sure that you have a visualization in your mind that you maybe focus on during meditation, or you can just close your eyes now. I reckon we do it now. Some people are more visual and you'll see pictures. Some people are more auditory and you'll more focus on what you'll hear. And then other people are more feeling people and they will feel into what it feels like to find that life partner. So close your eyes for a moment if you feel comfortable. And I just want you to imagine that amazing life partner has walked into your life. And you've met them and you're so excited and you're so grateful that the universe gave you what you put on your vision board for 2021. And that this talk, maybe it's a year down the track after this talk and you're like, yes, it happened. And feel the joy that's come from that. Feel the amazing connection you have with this person. And I want you to visualize what they look like. What do they look like standing there in front of you? Maybe you can see yourself kissing them. Maybe you can see yourself on a beach. Really drink up that visual. And I want you to kind of take a mental picture of that and keep it in your mind. And then what is this person saying to you? What are they telling you? Are they whispering sweet nothings in your ear? And whenever you're ready, I want you to come back to this moment with me. Open your eyes. Now take note of those feelings, of those thoughts, and of that visual and auditory things that we went through when we met that amazing life partner that we're looking for. Because the more we can tap into that emotion and the more we can tap into that feeling that we've already got it and it's already here and we have an amazing life partner, not that we just want one, but we have one, the more likely we are to manifest it. So we want to make sure that we're making it as believable and as real as possible and just feeling into that as much as we can, because that is the way that it just magnetically attracts into your vortex. And finally, I want you to write an affirmation based on that. So when I wanted to manifest my soulmate into my life, I just learned a life lesson around one-sided relationships. I always found myself looking after someone in a relationship. And I realized that's not what I wanted. I wanted someone who it would be equal give and take with myself. That sometimes one person would look after someone and sometimes it would swap and the other person would look after the other person, because I wanted it to be an equal partnership. And I put that on my vision board. I'm like, I have an equal partnership with an amazing partner who looks after me and I look after him in equal amounts. And I had that there and I would say that to myself a lot of the time. And that's what I manifested. So utilizing those thoughts and those feelings, maybe it's someone who loves you unconditionally. What does that look like to you? What does that feel like to you? I want you to write down an affirmation. And if you have a vision board, put it up there. If you don't, that's fine. Just write it on top of your paper man. And then take your paper man or your vision board and put it somewhere you'll look at every day. Maybe it's the wall next to your bed. Maybe it's a mirror, bathroom mirror in the morning. And you want that always to be there for your subconscious mind to keep reading and to keep focusing on. And it's always there. It's always reintegrating into your subconscious mind. Because sometimes only saying it once or twice isn't quite enough to click. They're my 3 tips on how best to manifest your soulmate in 2021. Does anyone have any questions? It's so difficult when men think making money is how they look after you. I don't feel it's the only way. Feeling empty as money can come and go. Hey, I can completely agree with you there. Sometimes people will have different love languages. And maybe for some men that is being the ones who look after the security and the money and the finances and just giving you presents might be their way of showing their affection. But maybe that's not your way of receiving affection. And then that's where that mismatch comes in. So on your paper man, I don't know if you saw this before, if you were here for the rest of the talk, there's my paper man. So you want to write someone who can give you the affection in the way you would like to receive it. So whether that's kisses and cuddles, you might be someone who's very tactile and loves to be touched, loves to be hugged, you know. That might be your way of showing affection. That's what you would love to receive. Put that on your paper man, someone who loves kisses and cuddles, you know, or someone who can verbally tell you. Maybe you're someone who has that auditory way of processing things and you want to be told, I love you every day, or when you walk out the door, you know. That's what you want to try and manifest, someone who can match you in that. Or even if they don't match you in that, someone who's willing to learn how you like to feel love and to give that to you as well. So fantastic question. Guys, feel free to leave a comment at the end of this and I'll go through and I'll make sure everyone's comments have been replied to and everything. And all the best with your manifesting for 2021. It's more than capable. It's in you, guys. Believe in yourselves, because often the easiest way to stuff up a manifestation is to think it's never going to happen for me. I'm not worthy of this. It won't happen for me. It will. It can. It's more than likely to happen. You just have to put yourself into it and give it your all. And sometimes divine timing makes it take a little bit longer than what we want it to, but you've put it out there. That's the main thing. You've put it out there. Even if it's not this year, it might come next year and you might not even notice until you're like, hey, it's here. Oh my God, I remember last year when I asked for this. And I asked for someone who gave me kisses and cuddles all the time. Because that's what you deserve, guys. So yes, all the best with your manifesting for 2021.